Hello everybody and welcome back to the Equipped Woman, and today's video is just hit record. And I really want to talk about some of the challenges that I've been having, the wisdom that I've received, that I've been seeking concerning the direction of the Equipped Woman, and really encourage you that if you're dealing with any of these things that I'm going to talk about today, so that you can be able to clearly hear from God concerning your purpose and things that He's called you to do. And I know as content creators, there's so much work that goes into creating content. You go the researching, the recording, the actual scripting, everything that needs to be done to make sure that, things are presented in a way that is going to be able to keep your audience engaged, and also whatever message that you're presenting, getting it across in a way that is going to encourage them. And for me, one of the biggest challenges that I've had is the perfectionism and the lack of consistency and the procrastination. And that is kind of all wounded together in this quest to have things perfect all the time. And what it has done, it has delayed a lot of the things that I really wanted to put out there. And I really had to seek a lot of guidance on this, because when we think about just our walk with Christ, we're imperfect. We're never going to be perfect. It's a daily surrender. We have to make sure that we're living obediently and following the will of God for our life. And a lot of times when we're gifted and called to do certain things, that the enemy tries to come in and delay that. And what I've had to realize is that, whatever it is that needs to be said, I just need to say it. I just need to present it and not think that it has to be done in a certain way. Not to say that I don't like things to be done in decent and order and be presented well. But a lot of times when we look at social media, everything is so perfectly curated. We see all of these things that look so nice, failing to realize that the person that's presenting these things to you in front of the camera could have total chaos going on behind the scenes. And one thing that I feel that's important for me moving forward is that I want to show up as my authentic self. I want to be vulnerable and really share the struggles that I've gone through, the things that I may be currently experiencing, because this is where the true transformation happens, when we can show up as our authentic self and we can stand confidently in who God created us to be. A lot of times we shrink back and we get into this comparison trap, and we get into these different things where we're looking at what other people are doing and we're trying to compare our lives to that, things that look so perfect, when we don't even know what the full story is. We only know what's presented to us. So I think it's just so important now for me to really understand that showing up as my authentic self, really speaking and encouraging others with what God has given me the vision to do, is more important than anything else. So if that means I'm just not in this, creative space where everything has to have this backdrop that looks a certain way, that is not going to be the case anymore, because it's leading to more and more procrastination, it's leading to more and more delay. And it's also impacting those that I've been called to, specifically that need the transformation in their lives. And if I am stuck in a place where I'm thinking that I need to do this 10 times before it's right, or make sure this looks good here, or make sure this has this perfect scenery here, and I'm just constantly delaying. And this is definitely what the enemy wants. He does not want the truth to get out there. He does not want those that have been called to certain spaces to really speak what needs to be spoken. And one thing that I wanted to talk about also is to make sure that we're very, very diligent about ensuring that the messages that we're presenting are the messages that need to be presented. A lot of times we may get a download from God that is specifically for us, specifically for our heart, and not for us to present to others, because it may be premature, and then we may come across in a way that is not accepting of others who may be on the other side of that. Now, it could be specifically that there is a truth being told that they don't want to hear, but then it also can be us sharing messages prematurely that God is not ready for us to release because it's specifically for us. So just finding a balance between the two. But the most important thing is just really showing up authentically every single time. Like, I never want to present myself in a way that is the antithesis of, really what's going on. Because we all know our deep, dark secrets, but the world doesn't know. But one thing's for true: what's private will eventually become public, as we can see that unfolding all over the world right now. But aside from that, you always want to make sure that you're presenting who God created you to be, because anything outside of that is a false witness. So you want to be sure that the authenticity is showing up every single time, because when we start presenting ourselves in things that God has not called us to, eventually people are going to begin to see right through that, and then your credibility is going to be gone. And one of the things that's so important, especially when you're trying to bring others in the fold to become Christ followers, and you're sharing your testimony, sharing the things that you've done or have experienced in life, anytime there's any lack of credibility there, you lost. And it's very hard to rebuild that, because once that's gone, people have a very difficult time trusting you, believing in you when you are encouraging them in a way, but then you're not being truthful about the things that you've experienced or the things that you've gone through in your life. And I think that now more than ever, we have to stand for truth. We have to stand up for what's right. We have to be confident and bold in who we are, because there are going to be a lot of people that are going to be naysayers, a lot of haters that are going to try to discredit the things that you say. But if you're confident and sure and understand and know, this is what I'm standing on. I'm standing on this truth. This is who God created me to be. You can continue to show up in that true, authentic way every single time without fear of anything coming against you. Not to say that you're not going to experience challenges or you're not going to experience things that are going to try to get you off track, but having that strong foundation. We know that if a house does not have a strong foundation, it will not stand. And your foundation is who God created you to be. And speaking truthfully about that and being able to share your message so that you can create transformation in the lives of those that you've been called to serve. And it's so important. And for me now, I am now moving away from the actual thought that I have to make everything be a certain way before it's presented to others, and being unapologetic and not really caring about what other people think about what I say, what I do. And just as long as I know that this is something specific and a message that needs to be presented because it's going to change someone's lives, even if it only impacts one person, that is absolutely amazing, because there's one more person that can then start really reconsidering their life and really trying to begin to cultivate that relationship with Christ so that they can live the life that He's called them to. And I don't care about the likes. I'm not going to try to, get all of this, these accolades or pats on the back. Because at the end of the day, the only person that I'm trying to please is my Heavenly Father. And when you get the attitude of, I'm going to show up the way He created me to be, I don't care what anybody says, I don't care about what their opinions are, you will begin to see your life transform right before your eyes. Because I think so many people are so caught up in what other people think, what other people are going to say, what are they going to do when they see me doing X, Y, and Z. That should be the least of your concern. Your concern should be getting the wisdom that you need to move forward in all that He's called you to do, being confident in that, and understanding that your purpose is to reconcile others to Christ through whatever avenue He has paved the way for you. So that can be through your business, that can be through content creation, that can be through your 9 to 5, that can be through being a stay-at-home mom, it can be through any area, whatever it is that you do in your day to day, you can be influential and impact the lives of others, and be unapologetic about it. And I think the older that I get, the more unapologetic I've become. But even in that, I think it also comes with me being more confident in getting wisdom from God concerning who He created me to be. Because when we lack the confidence, our self-esteem is low. We're looking for extrinsic appreciation. We're looking for people to affirm things that we've done. And we are constantly looking for that to move forward. But when you're confident in who God created you to be, you don't need any of that. You are so solid in your foundation that it doesn't matter if someone likes it or doesn't like it. If they give you a thumbs up or they don't give you a thumbs up, it doesn't matter. Because I guarantee when you get into that space and you realize that you're changing lives, all of that is going to naturally fall in place. You won't have to beg. You won't have to try to scheme or scam or do certain things to get people to come and buy into what you're doing, because you're going to be walking effortlessly in what God has called you to do. So I hope this encourages someone. And if you're going through any of that, pray for the Lord to give you the wisdom that you need to move away from the perfectionism, move away from the procrastination, move away from the need to think that you need to care about others' opinions of you, because what others think of you is none of your business. So you want to be sure that you are standing firm in that foundation and really knowing that you are equipped to do everything God has created you to be. He has already put all of the things that you need already on the inside of you. It's time for you to stir up those gifts, get the wisdom that you need, surround yourself with wise counsel. Make sure that those that you are keeping in close contact with you are giving you the correct wisdom and guidance. And those that are not, then it's time to reevaluate those relationships and see who you need to maybe disconnect from, because that's going to be so vital as we move forward in the things that God has called us to do. This world is moving at a rapid pace. There are so many things that are going on right now, and we have to make sure that we are in line with whatever it is that God has positioned us to do. So again, I hope this encourages you, and make sure that you are showing up every day as your authentic self, whether others like it or they don't like it. So until next time, stay encouraged, and remember, you are purposed, productive, and prosperous.